Hi, I'm Susan, and today I'd like to show you how to make my simple display cards. If you've been following me for a while, you've been making some jewelry, and you'd like to know how to display it, that you could give it as a gift or sell it. Either way, how you display it is very important of how people see it. I like to use vintage book pages because I just love this kind of worn and torn look, and people throw away books. You can actually, it's upsetting. There's so many books in the garbage behind the libraries that you don't know what to do with them, and I try to reuse things because this is something that will be thrown away anyway. I try to use things that we can recycle and get another use out of. I love the way they look with the earring cards. I've had so many requests when people see my earring cards, how did I make them? I decided to show you how I make all of them. I like to use more of the corrugated cardboard for my bigger necklaces. It's a great way to inventory. You can buy these cellophane bags off of eBay. Just simply search cellophane envelope. They come in all different sizes. And I just add a rubber band across the top to keep the necklace in place. You don't even notice it because it almost matches those vintage book pages. This is a simple little pendant. Just by adding a plain little card behind it, made it sit so much nicer that you can have multiple ones in a display, or you could just give it as a gift like this because it's almost like it's perfectly gift wrapped once again on the back. And I also just put my earrings on the back of these larger cards because these are larger earrings, and once again they have the rubber band in them that you probably wouldn't have noticed if I didn't point out. And I also have bracelet cards because I always see a lot of people just do the big bracelet displays, but they're kind of intimidating. People can pick these up and really look at them and get a better idea. Plus, if you're very busy at a show, this is a really good way to sell that it's already pre-packaged and you don't have to worry about doing a whole lot with it. So let's get started because you're going to want to make lots of these. So what I start with is just a box from the grocery store. You can use any type of box. I stay away from anything in the refrigerator or freezer section. They seem to have a plastic coating. And I am just using basic white glue. And when I say basic white glue, I mean I buy this by the gallon. It's just Elmer's school glue. You can use any kind of white glue. This is just some basic water. I use this water bottle over and over for years. And I'm just adding a few drops of water to it. I find this makes it work a lot easier. You don't have to add the water to it, but it takes a little longer to dry, but it makes it work a lot easier. It smooths the pages out, and the glue's expensive, so since you're using it, you might as well use less of what you don't need. And see how it just gives it a better consistency. I think also because I'm at the end of the gallon, it may be a little thicker, but I'm just looking for a super runny consistency. Now here's just an old book. Please do not beat me up because I use old books. They throw them in the garbage behind the library here. So I'm only salvaging what's in the garbage. I'm not taking precious books. You just want to use old books that nobody wants. You can even use newspapers if you still have them printed in your area. Some places they don't even print them anymore. And I just rip this up, just randomly. And all I'm going to do is paint this with some glue. Now you could use a roller or a bigger brush. This is the one that I just have sitting on my table, and that's the one I'm going to use. And so I just randomly cover this with book pages. And just keep turning the page every time you put it on so that it goes in a different direction. And I'll continue to do that until I finish this side, and then I will continue and cover the other side because I like both sides of my pieces to be covered. Now, I also like to cover corrugated cardboard. This kind of thicker, heavier cardboard works great for necklace cards. So I will break this box up. I just don't want the edges on it, basically. I just would cover this part of it and use it as a necklace card. And you'll see when I do my displays, I'll show you what my necklace cards look like and how they're just so much easier to display some of your pieces. So my cereal cardboard is covered with paper on both sides and it's all dry. And I'm going to cut it into strips. I'm going to cut it into 3.5-inch strips this way, and then I'm going to cut it again into 3 inches. So I will have cards that are 3 by 3.5. Now you can have 2.5 by 3, you can 4 by 5, whatever size you like that you want to use for different things that you're going to use it for, but this is the size that I am working with right now for my earrings. So basically I just take a scissor and cut it up. Now if you have a rotary cutter, a guillotine cutter, they work fantastic with this. But for me to take the rotary cutter out, it's going to be more work than it's worth. So I just cut it with a scissor. And so I'm going to cut it the other way and come back with all my little cards. So here's a stack of my earring cards that I've already cut out. And you can see sometimes if you look really, really close, you can see that there was a cereal box. Don't worry about it. Nobody's going to look that close. Use the other side if it bothers you that much. It's not worth covering it numerous times. By the time you get your earrings on them, here's one that's finished. You wouldn't even notice that. So to make this little punchy-do part that pops up for the earring, I use one of these 2 things. This one is the Easy Earring card. I will put the links below. And this one is Bead Landing. I don't know which ones are available now or where you can get them, so I'm going to have to search that. And all you do with these is, this is a 1-inch strip. You can cut a 3/4 of an inch, whatever size you want. I don't even measure, to be honest with you. You just measure up with the punch so that it's even and just punch it through, and that will give you your earrings. Now I want to show you the difference between the 2 brands. This one has 2 dots on it. I'm not really sure why. And it's bigger. So that's the difference between the 2. Personally, I like the smaller one, but sometimes if this is all you can find, it'll do the same job. Now, to create the card, I just basically take the little tabs and fold them in. It's just easier. And I am just going to put a dab of white glue. This is just tacky glue. Any white glue will do. The white glue you put the cards together will do. It doesn't matter. It will wet that glue that's on the card, and so this will set up really quick. Like, you think you have a second to move it, you really don't. It just sets up super fast because of the glue that you already had on there. And all I do then is just trim this off. And that's pretty much all there is to it. And I buy cellophane envelopes on eBay. I will put the link below to that also. They come in all sorts of sizes, and you can use them for so many things. Now, I also make bigger cards. Now, these I also use with post-back earrings. And for post-back earrings, you don't need this punch whatsoever. You need your most important needle tool. And I use just a styrofoam cart from the food store, anything so that I can just push through it. So if you put 2 holes in it with your needle tool, now you can put your post-back earrings in there without any worries. So I just do a straight across strip. Now you wonder, why do I even bother? I just like the way they kind of match up when they're in the display. That's really pretty much all there is to it. You don't necessarily need to add the strip of paper. I'm just kind of funny that way. Now, I also like to take the corrugated cardboard, which is this same brown cardboard that you get, big boxes with. And I like to cover that. This is just a bag. I have this one sitting in ready to use for a necklace. And I just put an earring strip on the back of it. I put 2 notches in it so that I can put my necklaces in it and hang it, and then I'll put it in one of these bags. So it's sort of like it's got its own little case. This way, people can see what the inventory is. I have the inventory for me. I can see what it is. It keeps it from getting dusty. If you have any clasps, it keeps it from getting tarnished. And it also is a great way, you'll find when you display, that you can display many things. Now, the other thing I like to do is I like to take these cards. And these are long cards that I put bracelets on, and I'll show you in my display. I just put rubber bands, and you can see the rubber band blends right in. So when you put a rubber band with a bracelet on this and put it in a clear bag, it looks really nice, and it's a great way to display them. And also with the necklace cards, I will put on top of the necklace here to hold it just a rubber band, and that will hold the necklace in place before I put it back in a cellophane bag. And that's pretty much all there is to it.